Hello everyone, welcome to another Scratch tutorial. Today we're going to focus on a catching game, which we have some variables. In the player part, we need to have a variable for itself, for this sprite only, called falling speed, as well for the food, which is the orange. The ground, we don't need to do any scripting, we just need to sense. Okay, and the orange, we have this lives and score for every sprite. So, and one more falling speed for itself. So these two guys have two falling speeds. And in the costume spot, he has multiple costumes to act like he's walking. And now, back to the scripts. These global variables, falling speed for only itself, this one too. And we can start by scripting this. We can go to x0, y minus 55. Now we can do with the forever part and add an if to ifs. If key right arrow pressed and if key left arrow pressed, then we're going to change x by 10. If you didn't measure the position right, the y position right, maybe you need to start a falling one. So how do you do the falling one? Okay, first we're going to leave this alone. So if you didn't do the reposition right, you can, if touching ground, then set this to 0, and if not touching ground, then change y by falling speed, change falling speed by -1. So now what he sinks to the floor, we can add this by choosing a custom block named y collision. And run without screen refresh, because this is very important for testing. We're going to add, and you're going to say repeat until not touching ground. If touching ground, then just change y by 1, else just -1. Just don't, and just put in a forever block once more. So as you can see, it got this. You can just set falling speed 0 at first, so it can go a beautiful, beautiful falling script. And you just don't need these variables. This variable, just delete this. Okay, so we don't need the y collision just in case. So it just makes stuff a lot harder. So now you've got this, and go to the backdrop spot, but just drag this and the backdrop spot. The no motion spot, so delete this, and delete this. Okay, if key right arrow pressed and broadcast both messages 1, which are the same. And when I receive message 1, next costume. But before that, we need to add a wait block in there called 0.3, which is very good. Okay, we can start script. So as you can see, the player can move smoothly. Now, for the orange, we can start by when green flag clicks forever, so see he's hidden. So first, hide, get show block, and wait 1 second, and grab a create clone of this. Maybe just like this. So, whoops. So first, when I start as a clone, then show, go to X, you're going to pick random something, like a range from -100 to 100, and Y needs to be on top of the screen. And then you're going to have this falling speed again, and repeat until touching ground or player. And then you're going to change Y by falling speed, change falling speed by -1, which is like Y velocity. It keeps accelerating the longer he's in the air. So then you're going to, if touching player, then you're going to, like this. Then you're going to have change score by 1. when you just set it to 0 when it started. And lives, we are going to set lives to 3. And change score by 1 and delete this clone. So Scratch won't have this cloning overload when you're just like, you're doing some painting or just something else. And we're going to do that with if touching ground. And we change score from -1, set falling speed 0, at first 2. Net blocks. And we've got 1 score, 2 score, 3, 4, and what happens? We miss. Whoops, we forgot. It's supposed to be lives. And how do we do this game over script? Well, we can just do this in the backdrops. If lives equals to 0, then we're going to stop everything. So if you touch it, look at the score, it changes. If you miss it, then unlucky you. So when the lives get 0, then everything stops. So well, that's it for our tutorial. I just can't wait to see what you're going to do with this pretty catching game. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.